ARSP, this is your master fitness team coming at you remotely from the Bridgeport storefront. The purpose of this video is to give you guys some tools to maintain physical readiness during your social distancing, isolation, quarantine thing that you guys are doing. So what we're gonna do today is go over basically the OPAT, each exercise one by one, and give you guys kind of some exercises that you can do to prepare for success on each of these movements. All right, we're gonna break it down into like each individual exercise. We're gonna show you how to do it. And we're gonna include a warm up and a cool down. Sound good? Awesome. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is the warm up. It's just gonna be some pretty, easy joint rotation stuff. So we're gonna start out with arm circles. We're gonna basically take our arms out over to our sides and just rotate them like so, about 10 to 15 times one way, and then 10 to 15 times the other way. All right, make sure you're kind of going slow. You don't want to whip around and hurt yourself. Maintain like a nice even pace, and make sure you get a nice good stretch as you go. All right, next thing we're gonna do is wrist rotation. So hold your arms kind of out to the side like so. And again, same deal, nice slow controlled movement. Rotate your wrists one way for 10 to 15 times, and then the other way, also 10 to 15 times. All right, at this point, you're gonna switch over to the lower half of your body. We're gonna do ankle rotations, one ankle at a time. Same deal, just kind of hold out your arms to the side if you need to catch your balance. Rotate your ankle 10 to 15 times one way, 10 to 15 times the other way. And switch. All right. Cool. Next thing we're gonna do is what's called a hip hinge. I'm gonna turn to my side a little bit so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. Basically what it's gonna do is kind of open up your hip muscles and kind of stretch out your hip flexors at the same time. Get you guys nice and ready to do some movements here in a bit. All right. So first thing you're gonna do is bring up your leg to about a 90-degree angle and open it. Hold for about 5 seconds. Come back and come down. Same deal, the other leg. Open, back, down. Same deal. Do it about 5 times each leg. Again, hold your arms out to the side if you need to hold your balance. All right. Last exercise in the warm-up drill is going to be a forward lunge. I'm gonna kind of move to the side so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. This isn't going to be like a regular forward lunge. You're not going to do a 6-inch step. You're going to go nice and kind of long. The goal here is to get a nice deep stretch and kind of focus right here on your hip flexor. You should feel it right about here, all right? Keep your shoulders square. Keep your feet firmly planted on the ground. And again, you should feel it right in through here, all right? Hold that for about 20 seconds. You can count off 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and so on, all the way to 20. Come back to the center, and then switch legs. So again, same deal. Feel it right in through here. Keep your shoulders square, head facing forward. Hold it for about 20 seconds. All right. All right, this concludes the warm-up drill. I'm gonna pass it off to Sergeant Vega.
How's it going, RSP? Sergeant Vega here. We're gonna cover the long jump. Long jump's just a little bit of an explosive exercise, explosive event as far as your muscles and all that goes. So we're gonna go into a jump squat. It's gonna be very simple. It's just gonna be an air squat, followed by a little bit of jump. And you can knock out 10 to 15 at your own pace. Let's say do about 3 rounds of it as you're going through it. So it's very simple. Make sure one of the key points is that when you're coming down, your knees are staying behind your toes and you're shooting your hips back first, then coming down. When you're going up for the jump, make sure you're prepped and ready to brace for when you touch down, and then come right back up. If you need to reset for every jump and every squat, feel free to do so. We want control here. We don't want speed. You're not setting any records. You're here for a nice controlled exercise throughout the entire duration of your time working out. The next one we're going to look at is the split squat. It's just going to be different. It's going to add a little bit of a lunge into it. You're going to start out with your feet about shoulder width apart. You're going to start by going forward, coming down, same thing. You're looking at a nice L shape, coming back, standing straight. With the same leg, you're going back together, and then you're alternating. Do about 5 each leg, and be ready to move on to the next exercise. If you have any questions throughout this entire thing, feel free to reach out. So that's something that we are going to offer to you guys. You guys should all have our phone numbers or our contact information, and then we're going to be moving on to the next event with Sergeant Patron giving you guys instruction.
Hey soldiers, so the next exercise we're going to go over is going to be the medicine ball throw. So the medicine ball throw is focused primarily on your upper body, so that's what we're going to target here. So we're going to go over 3 things. We're going to do hand release push-ups, which are going to be featured on the new ACFT, which is coming at a date to be determined based on this whole COVID-19 thing. Then we're going to go into kind of a slow negative push-up. I'll talk about what that means. And then we're finally going to end with hinge work. So we're going to do about 3 sets, or 3 rounds, altogether, with 10 to 15 reps per round. So the first thing I talked about was the hand release push-up, so we're going to start now. All right, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to start actually on the ground, okay? So I'm going to angle myself so you guys can kind of see. Get down safely. Start here. Your index fingers have to be in line with your shoulder, okay? So what you're going to do is do a regular push-up, come up, lock, make sure you come all the way up, make sure your elbows are locked out, come down, bring your hands out to your side, and then come back in. That's 1, all right? You're going to do about 10 to 15. All together it looks like this. 1, 2. All right, so that's the hand release push-up. Now we're going to go into kind of a modified regular push-up. It's going to be a little different, it's a little harder, all right? So again, shoot for 10 to 15 of these per round, okay? So what it is you're going to start in the front knee rest position, get there comfortably, and on the way down, all right, you're going to do a nice controlled, slow movement, okay? You're going to go basically count to 5 in your head. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Explode up, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it? So what that's going to do is kind of make regular push-ups harder, all right? It's going to kill any momentum that you guys usually have on like a PT test, and it's going to take everything out of the equation. You're going to be controlling everything with your chest, shoulder, and tricep muscles, okay? All right, so the last thing we're going to do is an inchworm. So you're going to kind of want to back up. Start with your feet about shoulder width apart, pointing forward. You're going to come down in a nice, slow, controlled fashion. Walk your hands out all the way to the front knee rest position. Do a push-up, regular this time, and then walk all the way back. Just like that, all right? So in real time, it looks like this. One, all right? So again, that's 10 to 15 reps per exercise, 3 rounds of each. I'm gonna turn it over to Sergeant Vega.
How's it going, troops? Sergeant Vega here again. We're gonna go into the next event, which is the deadlift. So for the deadlift, you're looking for a lot of strength in your core, in your legs, and even a little bit in your arms. So we're gonna start out with is a modified goblet squat. Now with that being said, you guys were all given a backpack. Hopefully you guys have one if you weren't able to get one for whatever reason. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna front load it. That means you're gonna grab the straps, make sure it fits over your shoulders on the front side. You're gonna load it with an appropriate amount of weight that you feel comfortable with. Keyword, you feel comfortable with. You're gonna make sure you grab a hold of it. Straps are nice and secure. So once you grab it, almost give it a hug, and you're just gonna come down with it, all right? The exercise, you'll do it at a moderate pace. You're not looking to, again, set any records, any speed records, any of that kind of stuff. And make sure you're being careful throughout the entire movement. All right. That being said, we're going to move into the next exercise. It's going to be a little bit of a modified deadlift, but we're going to do it with a backpack once again. Load it with an appropriate amount of weight, something that you're comfortable with, and lay it on its side. So where you're about shoulder width apart when you come down to pick it up. So you're going to squat down, keep your core nice and tight. Kind of hold your breath, push out with it, and come down, lift, bring it back down nice and controlled, and that's 1. All right, so once again, coming down, staying nice and controlled, staying nice and good posture the entire time. Come back up, back down, and that's 2. All right, because the core is so important throughout this entire exercise and during these entire movements, we're going to throw in some planks in there. And that's just to make sure that your core is nice and strong throughout this entire time, especially moving forward when you decide to work out on your own and you decide to move up in weight. So we're going to do a little bit of a variation once again. We're going to start out in the front leaning rest. You guys should all be pretty familiar with this. So when you guys don't follow instructions, you guys are typically in this position. But throughout the entire time, I'm going to ask you to kind of rotate down your elbows and right back up. Do that about 5 times. And then slowly, once you're comfortable, transition to a side plank and fully extend out. Hold that for 10 to 15. Come back down and rotate back out. All right, right back up. Sergeant Patron's gonna help you out on that last exercise.
All right, guys, Sergeant Patron here again. So we're gonna go over the final thing in the OPAT, which is gonna be the Shuttle Run, all right? So this is probably the most difficult to train for, given the current climate of the world. So I know a lot of you guys are kind of living in a lot of different situations, and you're not really supposed to go outside and interact with people. And running is something that obviously requires either a treadmill, which not a lot of you have, or to be able to go outside. So what we're going to do is you can do this from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go outside and interact with people. You can maintain your social distance. All right, what you're going to do to get your heart rate up. Okay, so this is going to be like kind of a conditioning thing. It's going to be a little different than what you guys or what we've been doing previously. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 exercises. Okay, they're going to be broken up into 2 sets, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your phone, all right, and set a timer for 10 minutes, okay? And every minute on the minute, so what that means is like as soon as you hit start, you're going to start exercising. And you're going to do 5 burpees and 5 jumping lunges, okay? So I'll show you what that means, but you're going to do 5 burpees, 5 jumping lunges, and whatever time is left in the minute. So for example, if it takes you 30 seconds to do both of those things, you have 30 seconds to rest until the top of the next minute, until the timer says 1 minute. Then you're going to start again. All right, you're going to do that for 10 minutes. Okay? So the faster you work, the more time you're going to have to rest. Okay? So I'll show you what each exercise looks like. We're going to start with the burpee. Okay? So this is what a burpee looks like. I know there's a lot of different schools of thought on what they are. This is what they are. Okay? So what you're going to do, you're going to start standing up like this. You're going to come down. You're going to place your hands on the ground like so. Kick your legs back. Go down and do a push-up all the way down. Come back to here. Jump 6 inches in the air. That's 1. You're going to do 5. Okay? So all together it looks like this. That's 1. Okay? Next exercise is the jumping lunge. Okay? So it's a lot like a regular forward lunge. The only difference is you're going to jump at the end of it. Okay? So I'll turn my body to the side so you guys can kind of see what you're doing. Basically it looks like this. You're going to step forward, come down, make a nice L shape like Sergeant Vega talked about earlier. But at the end, instead of standing up, you're going to jump and switch. Okay, I know it's going to be a little sketchy. Do it at your own pace. Don't try to rush. That's how people get hurt. All right, we're here trying to make you guys better. All right. So in real time, it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So you're gonna do 5 each leg for a grand total of 10, and 5 burpees every minute, on the minute, for 10 minutes. I guarantee your heart rate's gonna be up. I'm gonna turn it over to Sergeant Vega to do the recovery drill.
All right, troops, you made it. Get to cool down. Get to be, get to relax a little bit. When it comes to the end of this, if you still are feeling a little bit motivated and you're wondering what other exercise you can continue doing to feel strong, go out there and do a little extra, and you're wondering, hey, what would Sergeant Patron, Sergeant Vega say to do? The answer is and will always be burpees. That being said, we're going to go into the recovery drill. This is the recovery drill we do in PRT. If you need extra help or you want to find some extra exercises, always go to the PRT app. All of it's in there, it's explained, and feel free to use that as a resource. It's a free app, feel free to download it, it's up to you. That being said, first exercise will be the overhead arm pull. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your arms, go out, pull left arm over your head, and just hold it with your opposite arm, and hold it there for anywhere from 25 to 30 seconds. All right. Once you're there, make sure once you get to those 25 to 30 seconds, go ahead and come down, make sure you relax, and switch on over. All right. All right. Once that's complete, you're gonna move on to the rear lunge. All right. With the rear lunge, you're just gonna put your hands on your hips. You're gonna bring your left foot back first and stretch. All right. Make sure you're feeling that stretch right in here. Help your hip flexors fully recover. Once again, all these stretches are going to be held from 25 to 30 seconds. Once you're done, just come back to a neutral position and go ahead and switch. All right. Next one's going to be the extended flex. All right. So you're going to get down, front leaning rest, kick out, and make sure you come up almost like a Hindu push-up or a dive bombers. Lots of different names for this. Hold for 25 to 30 seconds. Come back to front leaning rest and come right down. Key point during this is you're not letting your legs hit the ground. All right, this isn't get lazy time. This is recovery time. All right. Once you've held that for 25 to 30 seconds, go ahead and come back up. You're gonna go down to the thigh stretch, all right? That being said, just gonna start with your starting position right here. You're gonna kick over to the side. Make sure your heel's on the top of your knee. And you're gonna stretch. Make sure you have your hand near the ankle, not on the shoelaces, putting stress on that ankle. 25 to 30 seconds. Come back to the starting position and switch. All right. The next exercise is going to be a single leg over. Coming right back down. Starting position. This one you're actually going to lean back. Kick the leg over. Key point is your shoulders will stay on the ground the entire time. All right. You can use your other hand to kind of support your leg. Maybe pull down a little bit so you feel the stretch, not pain. 25 to 30 seconds. Come back to the starting position and switch. That being said, troops, that concludes our exercise. If you're feeling motivated, feel free to do some more. Maybe instead of 3 rounds, you do 4 rounds, and stay prepared. All right, the standard is the standard, regardless of what's going on in the world.
All right, guys, Sergeant Patron here for the last time. Sergeant Vega and I made this video for you guys. We want to see you guys succeed. So that being said, circumstances are a little different this drill than they have been in any other drill, at least my career in the National Guard. So that being said, physical training as a whole in the National Guard is an individual task. All right, you guys are serving 1 week in a month and a few weeks in the summer. All right, What that means is the other days out of the month, you got to be training on your own. So this drill should be the start of that, all right? So those of you that were in our class last drill, back in February, Sergeant Williams brought up a thing that David Goggins likes to say. Boats and logs are heavy. Somebody's got to carry the boat. Make sure that somebody's you, all right?